Today we are going to talk about some interesting things.
Yes, some interesting things of the contribution in chemistry in medicine, food, and warfare.
Don't forget to mention that we're going to talk about the global warming and possible solutions for melting of polar ice caps.
Yeah, but first at all, we have here the Dr. Melissa who is going to explain us about the contribution of chemistry in medicine and food.
Welcome, Dr. Melissa.
Good morning, everybody. First, I'm going to talk about the contribution of chemistry in medicine. Chemistry is a huge part of medicine, both as a diagnostic and a treatment tool. Chemistry departments in each hospital check our hearing, our blood, our our metabolic and inorganic substance that we need to have in our body to check proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, and potassium, sodium, that check that it's everything alright, that we don't have a disease that can kill us. There are some new tests that are electrolyte tests that are more specific for blood. It's a blood protein that checks our potassium and our sodium. It's really necessary to make this test to check that is everything alright. The concept of RNA interface is more on a biological side. The engineer of chemistry to inhibit the translation of RNA into an amino acids sequenced by ribosomes requires chemistry. So RNA to change into an amino acids requires chemistry because it needs to pass by a chemical process. So in fact, when in medicine, almost everything needs chemistry.
And what about the chemistry in food?
Our food is made of chemicals. Proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, and fats are particular types of molecules and amino acids that combine in predictable way to make up a food. Texture, taste, stability, and appearance can be altered by a substitution of chemical foods in the component. Food scientists work with the chemistry of ingredients in food to improve the quality. The study of the use of chemical flavors, thickness agents, stabilizers, and preservatives, and apply their knowledge to improve existing food products and develop new ones. Current emphasis on low-fat and low-calorie products has prompted food scientists to study the chemical of some kind of foods that meet the chemistry of improving food in this area and developing new foods to fill the demand for these products.
You told us about the contribution of chemistry in food and medicine are very interesting now. I know that in food and medicine we need chemistry.
Well, now my partner Elizabeth and I will going to talk about the chemistry in warfare.
First of all, the chemistry in warfare refers to the chemical weapons countries use to attack others and that begin a chemistry war, which is some more dangerous than the normal war.
Yeah, some of these weapons are viruses of disease that contaminate the air and infect all the people. The best example of this type of war is the World War One.
In World War I, chlorine gas was used as a chemical weapon, releasing massive clouds by the German army to cause damage.
Now the modern weapons include choking agents with poison and chlorine, blister agents with nitrogen mustard, Lewis-side, and nerve agents.
Chemical agents may be released as tiny droplets, similar to the action of a bug bomb used to release insecticide. For a chemical weapon to use harm, it must come in contact with the skin or mucous membrane, be inhaled or be ingested. Shortly after World War I, the League of Nations drafted a document prohibiting chemical and biological warfare, and they called Genova Protocol, that said the use in war of asphyxianting, poisonous and other gases and of all analogous liquids, material or devices has been justly condemned by the general opinion of the civilized world.
More than 30 nations signed the Geneva Protocol in 1926.
Okay, now we go with Paola, who is going to talk about another very interesting theme, that is the global warming.
Good morning, everybody. I'm going to talk about the theme that everybody talks about, but only a few people do something about it, which is the global warming. The evidence that humans are causing global warming is strong, but the question of what to do about it remains controversial. Economics, sociology, and politics are all important factors in planning for the future. Even if we stop emitting greenhouse gases today, the earth will still warm by another degree Fahrenheit or so. But what do we do from today forward makes a big difference. Depending on our choices, scientists predict that the earth could eventually warm by as little as 2.5 degrees or as much as 5 degrees Fahrenheit. A commonly cited global is stabilized at greenhouse concentrations around 450 to 550 parts per million, or about twice pre-industrial levels. This is the point at which many believe the most damaging impacts climate change can avoid. The current concentration above 380 parts per million, which means there isn't much time to lose. According to the IPCC, we have to reduce greenhouse emissions by 50% to 80% of what they are going to try to be the next century to reach this level.
That is great, but I have a question. Is that possible?
Many people and governments are already working hard to cut greenhouse gases, and everyone can help. There are many possible ways, including improvements to energy efficiency and vehicle fuel economy, and increase the wind and solar power, hydrogen produced from renewable sources, biofuels, natural gas, and nuclear power. There is also the potential to capture the carbon dioxide emitted from the fossil fuels and store it underground, a process that is called carbon sequestration. In addition to reducing the gases we emit to the atmosphere, we can also increase the amount of gases we take to the atmosphere. Plants and trees absorb CO2 as they grow, sequestrating carbon naturally. Increasing forest land and making changes on the way we farm, we could increase the amount of carbon we are storing. Some of these technologies have dark drawbacks, and efficient communities will take elements decisions about how to power their lives. But the good news is that the good news are a variety of options to put us on a path toward the stable climate.
That is awesome. So you hear it's still not very late to do something about it, and you can help to make a change.
Well, that's all for this time. Thank you for watching us, and I hope you understand now that chemistry is in our whole life, and in many aspects that you really don't imagine chemistry could be involved. So thank you for watching us, and see you next time.